Now, when we talk about education in South Africa, it is often in a very negative context.
Yes.
In fact, we know that the annual national assessments are being debated, and there is very rarely good news when it comes to education. But this turns this or that idea on its head. In fact, what you're looking at here are success stories, good news when it comes to education in South Africa. After going through this process of putting together this review, how important is it that we look at these success stories instead of fixating on what's going wrong?
Vital. I think the fact of the matter is that we're also not looking for good news for the sake of good news because we want to buffer the negative. I genuinely believe that there is a lot of valuable work being done, and if we could effectively scale that work, then we are really talking about tackling the education crisis. So I think spending time looking at these organizations, you know, we have almost 8,000 organizations working on research and education in South Africa, and they're doing very valuable work. We believe communication among these organizations is also very important. I think that's been highlighted in the crisis around ANAs. There's so many different stakeholders, and the communication is breaking down, which is proving problematic. But we find if we can get people to collaborate, we can get people to share the learnings, we can make sure that there's a continuous throughput for a child from cradle to career, so that there's a service containing them all along the way, and those services are talking to each other, to assume that there isn't a need for a child to fall through the cracks. There'll always be somebody there to support them. And I think that is happening. And it's happening from the bottom up. And I think it's happening from a lot of these frontline actors, and a story that, as you say, is not often told, but is very much there.
Let's talk a bit about that scalability. You've mentioned it a few times during this chat, and it would appear that these projects are projects that could be implemented in different provinces, by different organizations, potentially even by the Department of Basic Education. Tell us about that.
I think something very important around scalability is that we're looking at solutions that target change at a systems level. So we're no longer looking at programs that just focus on their little area and without thinking about what happens before them or after them. And we're seeing that that's not working. We need to have holistic solutions that address the entire system. And I think once we start doing that, we can scale it. And I think another important thing around scale is a good working relationship with government. And I think if we want to work in the schools in South Africa, if we want our innovations to be taken to scale, we need to collaborate with government. And there are numerous champions working in the education department who are fascinated and interested and passionate about this kind of work and do want to partner with these organizations. So we really, at Bertha Centre, feel very strongly about that collaboration and connecting these various stakeholders so that we can scale. And I think another interesting thing about scale that I've learned is that it's not necessarily reaching more people. Sometimes it could be about scaling your offering in terms of going deeper. So not reaching more beneficiaries, but rather making that offering that you do have more multifaceted and more holistic, as I said, so that you're not just looking at one issue in isolation.
Now, I'm sure that viewers at home or in their offices really want more information about the review. If there is a viewer who wants to find out more, potentially read through it, how do they do that?
Okay, so they can definitely pop round to our offices at the Bertha Centre. It's at 9 Portswood Road, just across from the Somerset Hospital, and they can come and pick up a hard copy. They can also pop over to Bertha Centre's website, where you can download an electronic version.
And of course, we can interact with the Bertha Centre via social networks. How can we do that?
Yes, please. You can follow us at Bertha Centre on Twitter. You can also follow Bertha Centre blog, which you can access from the Graduate School of Business website. And we would love for you to pop in for a cup of coffee. If you have exciting ideas, I think this publication's really shown us it often starts with a cup of coffee and passion and plan, and then it grows, and we can all work together to help it grow in the best possible way. So we'd also love for people to pop around and come and see what we do. Bertha Centre works in innovative finance and in healthcare as well, so we really are looking at things from different angles. So we'd love to chat more to people about it.
Louise Albertine, thank you so much for joining us today.
Great, thank you very much, Teresa.